Hey guys, welcome to Guitar Point in Frankfurt, Germany. The black Strat is always something cool, something rare, something crazy, and especially when it has a green guard and clay dots. This guitar is even more special. Let me tell you how we got it. So there was a customer coming in with that case and that guitar, and it was automatically exciting, but it was also, creating headaches because something's wrong or something's not right. Not right can be different than wrong. Not right can be different than wrong. Because it has pre-CBS specs, like clear pre-CBS specs. You have the green guard, which it was available, or you'll find it on guitars into 65, but usually you would expect in 65 there should be a white pickguard, not that green pickguard. The clay dots also, we find them in early 65, but yeah, it doesn't match with two things that are on this guitar. That's the F serial plate with a early 66, late 65 serial number. And that's also the logo, the Fender decal. It's a late 65, early 66. And how does that make sense? So it's a small journey in guitar authenticating that lead us to the conclusion what it is. So we take you on that small trip now. What comes with the guitar? Obviously, plenty of old strings. So 70s, 80s, I would say. The original strap, which is pretty cool. That's the original strap to the guitar. The original bridge cover. And very important and very cool is the original instruction manual with the matching serial number 112527. 112527. So that's the original manual that came with this guitar. Other things, that's a weird switch. You don't want to have that in your guitar. So I think there's also the key, some fuses, just some random stuff. But so these three parts would be valuable and should belong to the guitar. Also the springs, extra springs for the tremolo. Yeah, everything else is just belongings of the former owner, who we don't know. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we check the neck date, because as we mentioned, that decal doesn't match with the clay dots and the Brazilian rosewood fingerboard and that pre-CBS specs. So we have to figure out what happened or why it is what it is. So we take off the neck. So the first thing we see when we flip that neck plate is what we want to see. There's paint from the body that stick to the back plate and it matches. It's like a mirror. So you can see it there, you can see it there. And you can also see the white undercoat under the black, which is also what we expect to see, which looks good. So that's the first thing that we figured out. And now we take off the neck. So what we see here, it's 2 for Stratocaster, January 65B. So that's a 65 neck. Okay, what we also see is what I mentioned with that the neck plate. In the neck pocket there's some color missing, which is stick to the neck. So you see that white undercoat and the black color, and also you can see the yellow stain. So the yellow stain would be typical also for 65. So they stained the body yellow and then they painted the guitar. So that's correct and that looks good. So far so good. We have a 65, early 65 neck. We still don't know why there's the later decal on the guitar, but let's see what's next. We take off the pickguard. All right, so what do we have here? We can tell that it's the original color. You can see all those hairs from the warm route are crispy. You can also see that it's very thin finish. You can see the angle where it was sprayed because there's no paint in the corners. It's yeah, it's wonderful. It's exactly how you would expect it to be. You see the white undercoat, and yeah, of course there are no nail holes because it's already the full paint stick era. And yeah, so far so good. What do we have here? The pot codes are 304, 65, 32. So 32 is already deep in 65. You probably would expect 64 pot codes when you have a January neck. Of course, we did that for the video. You can see there's definitely some solder work because there was a different switch put in that guitar, and we installed the original pot back in, which came with the guitar in the case. So that's not original, but we know who did it. It was us. This is original. The pickups are dated. It's 27th or 26th of January in 1966. So now that makes sense. We have a matching set of pickups, actually also the pots, to that early 66 or late 65 decal. It becomes more round, I would say. So we did some research. We also spoke to friends, collectors, and experts about their opinion, because it's always good to share something like that when it comes to a very valuable guitar like this. Original factory finish, original 65, January 65 neck, and early 66 electronics. So we assume that guitar has been sent back to the factory, probably for refinish work on the neck, maybe some fret work, maybe some electronics. So what we can tell is that all these parts are like the tremolo, the body shape, you can tell by the body shape as well, also the pickguard, and also, yeah, like that whole neck is original January 65. The neck was definitely refinished in early 66 or late 65, because then they applied that new decal. So that's what we can tell. We're sure that this guitar is original, and it's all Fender work, all factory work. It's factory black, and it's just a super cool guitar with, especially with that combination of the green guard and the black finish. So yeah, it's just amazing to have it here, and I think it's very important to see that process of how you figure out if it's original or what it actually is, by just looking at the solers, looking at all these different parts, and it took us a while to be convinced, to convince ourselves. I mean, how can we convince you as our customer if we're not convinced by ourselves? So it's a super rare guitar. It's very exciting, and yeah, it's available at Guitar Point.